Not too bad. Let's see. Let's just give it a double line. Make it look like it's supposed to be that way. How's that? Okay. Let's give it another line over here. Let me get a little sharpness here. I have an electric pencil sharpener, and it can be your godsend. Just like a hot glue gun is to building models. There. Does that look like it belongs? Let's give it another like that. Now, I usually take this A-pillar top and I sketch in right where it joins up at the top. We'll do a little dot there, a little dot there. Now, the back, since it's not going to have that much light, we're going to see a little detail here. And then we're going to see the detail on the quarter panel where it joins up. We're going to see the break, the surface change in the break there. Okay, now back to the body side. I'm going to take and erase again all this excess on that white surface. This surface is going to collect the same light or it's going to reflect the same light as this. So if the sky were purple, this whole contour would be purple. So some people will make it sky blue. I'm just going to leave it white. Going to give the car a little light, crispy feel to it. And again, I hit things as I see them. It helps me feel the car. So I'm going to do the windscreen, the cowl section of the car. Very important section of the car too. A more aggressive car, a sports car, this cowl would be low. It would be, since the engine would be back here. So we could, like that. Now I'm going to whisk this fender, this hood, so it kind of looks like that. Then I'm going to show the other side of the car here with a bold line. I got a chunk taken out of my. Okay. Let's do the lens to the camera right here. Okay. We're going to see a little reflection. Let's grab that same marker that we used for the body side. We're going to see a little reflection on the mirror, or this optic sensor right here. We're going to see it. It's going to bow down on the side of the car like that. Now some people will draw the reflection of this in the glass, but that's getting a little too detailed. There. Now, I'm going to hit this again since it's absorbed into the paper. And I'm going to stylize this reflection so it looks like the light is just having a lot of fun with the body. The light is showing us how this body is contoured. Now, you could take the body color pencil, which is like a putty gray. Sometimes they use a darker one, and that way you can darken it. Now I'm going to because my arm swings a certain way, I'm going to turn the sketch upside down, and your arm swings this way, so it's an arch in itself. So I'm just going to lightly sketch that transition. And then I'm going to do it here again. Makes the viewer say, wow, that line is really crisp right where it changes. You can come back and hit this with the sweep, but sometimes freehand gives it that sketchy feel. You don't want it to look like a machine did it. So far. Now, let's give an indication of a tail light. You can use a red marker or a red pencil, since the technology of lights has really changed with LED. You don't need a big tail light anymore. You do need a side marker light. That's federally required. So, I'm just going to do a little laser thin line right here. I'm not going to show the end. I'm not going to put the right to the edge because this line is curved. So what I'm going to do is take my pencil, and the bottom of the tail light is going to be arched just a little bit to show that it curves around. And here's the part line. So I let my paper show that the lens is shiny and it curves around the car, around the body side. So there we go. Now, about the only thing I would do to this car is do some detail on the wheels. Oh, we need a little detail here. I didn't look at the sawtooth here. Looks like a buzzsaw got it. Forgot about this. Do a little cleanup mode. Get my paper, because I don't want my sweat, my body fluids, to smudge the paper in the sketch. When I was in college, we had a class that was called Save the Sketch. It was usually towards the end of the semester. And if you spilled a drink or coffee on something, and you spent a lot of hours on it, and everything was right with the sketch, and you don't want to redo it again, we would all get together and have a little confab as to how you could save it. You could cut it out and put it on another piece of paper. You could add a backdrop to it. Cut out another sketch and lay it on there as a accessory sketch up in the corner. You do anything to save your sketch. And on a rag paper, you can do that. You can really, the paper will really last a long time. Just like money, it will last a long time. Okay, now I've got some side detail on my sculpting there, like little vents. So I'm going to put that here, this here, and this here. And I'm going to say the vent looks like this, like a teardrop almost. So, that being said, I'm going to grab my pencil and just shade this area to show a little curve. Do that. Do this. And do this. And I'm going to blacken in the holes, so it looks like something sinister is coming out of there. Oops. Say, ooh, what's coming out of there? Maybe it's the exhaust. It's got side pipes. It's a hot rod sedan. Okay. So, now, we got to figure out what to do with the wheels. So, I'm going to say the body color, the wheels are the same as the color as the body, to make it easy. Since the horizon runs through this, we're going to have the horizon running through the wheel too. It's going to be a flat disc, so we're going to give it a horizon right through here. And we're going to give it a little curve. The light's having a little fun with the curvature of the wheel. And again, the horizon is right there. So, we come back here. And we're going to give a little lip here for the horizon. Now, the wheel, since it's got a skirt, it's going to see a shadow right here. And maybe a little lip of reflection around there. Maybe a little lip of reflection down here. Now, any good wheel is going to have a little cut in it for the valve stem, the tire stem, or a little detail. So, I could either make the cut black, or I could make it the blue color. So, what I'm going to do, let's see, what are we going to do? We need a few more cuts in the wheel. So, I usually try to make them 3 or 5. In this case, it's going to be 4. So there's 4 holes. So, at the risk of being too colorful, I'm just going to make them blue. Again, the tires read as blue. The viewer will assume that they're black. We're just being a little artistic here. Again, cover my sketch so I don't get my perspiration on it. Then like that. Now you can come by with pencil and hit the holes, or you can render, you can use your marker and not detail certain sections of the hole, and it'll look like reflected light, like the surface of the car. So I'm going to just do this, and I'll come back with white marker. White pencil, I'm sorry. And I'm out of whiteout, so this is going to be a little difficult to show you. So I'm going to hit this with a little white pencil. Give some depth to the hole. Now, I feel like adding a pinstripe to it. Just a little eye candy. Here's another thing I missed. Go back to it. Hit this area really hard. The transition between the side contour and the upper quarter panel. Now, since we said the sun is setting behind us, we're going to have to see a little bit of that proof. So as if we're standing out in the desert and the sun is behind us, we're going to see a little sunlight coming into the horizon line. So we're just going to hit this with a little yellow here. Yellow and blue make green, so stay away from the blue as much as possible. And we're going to see some yellow in the body side. Not orange, not the yellow ochre, so this is a little bit brighter. Now some people will take yellow chalk and dust this whole thing so it's got a yellow cast to it, like the sun, like it's an ambient sunlight. Then we're going to take a little orange where the sun is at the hot spot. Usually the hot spot, we like to put it right in the center of the door. So put this right here. Like this, like this. Okay. Now what I would do with this is I would hit it with some bright whiteout, which I don't have down here, which I need. So give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. I got some white gouache, or the pros use gouache. It's really nice. It's very expensive. Whiteout will get you the same thing. This is the tip. It's got white on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit it. This is the sunlight. This is the actual ball of fire behind us. And we're going to hit it. Let me shake it so it dries faster. Okay. We're going to do a little hitting in the horizon. Brush it in lightly. We're going to get a little hit on the body trim up here. Then a little hit on the transitions, wherever that sun is. And it's going to be a hit in the body side too. And a little break in the, some people like to stylize it. I'm going to do a little hit on each one of the little hips here, since they're so close to the sun. And then, for contrast, I do it in the hole of the wheel and on the wheel hub, right in the center of the wheel. Bam. And do the front, as well as that optic sensor, aka mirror. Do a little here. Now the front, we're not going to do that much detail because it's farther from our eye. So we're going to get a little sun kiss right there. But you don't want too much of this, because then it'll look like the cars from the land of the multiple sun. Okay. I noticed I forgot one big glaring thing. The door cuts in the body side. So, for the front door, I am going to sketch in with my ink pen so I don't make a mistake. This is the door cut. there. It's going to come down and it's going to open up on top of the sculpting, then cut down like that. So what I'm going to do is hit it again, like with the glass. The deeper, darker color is going to be in the darkness of the body side, and then where the light hits it, it's going to diffuse all the detail. And it gives you a little dimension to your door cut. Again, I'm going to do it right here. Let's see. Again, I'm going to roll this just a little bit so the viewer says that fin has got a little bit of a crest to it. I'm going to crispen up these lines here to get that nice wheel arch. For me, cars are all about wheels. It's the only thing on the body side that's actually moving when we see a car. You can do a little divot here for that part line. Do a little divot here for that part line, makes it look a little bit real. Do a little divot down here for the same part line. And since this part is either chrome or white plastic, maybe textured because it's down near the surface of the road, we're not even going to illustrate that. But I am going to put, since the car is blue, I am going to put a little zinger stripe on it. I always like a stripe down low. This will be a little eye candy. I want to fade it where the brightness of the sun is, right here. I'm going to fade that, but I'm just going to give you a little eye candy here. Fade it off like that, and then give you a little tip of it up here in the front to say it's going around. There. So there's the car. Now I would normally throw a backdrop behind it. You could do something square back here. Matter of fact, let me do that. Let me lay in a backdrop. I'm going to grab a straight edge, try to make it level. Grab my blue marker. Again, I'm going to keep the colors close to being the same. And you don't want the shape to encompass the whole end of the car. So I'm going to do it like this, like the car's sitting next to a blue wall. Like that. Now, I'm going to cover my fingers, my hands. Again, I'm going to turn the sketch, because this is kind of crucial. I'm going to lay this marker in right on the edge of the car. So I got to be very wispy with the marker. Like that, like I'm sketching the car originally an hour ago. Like that. And then we're just going to chop this down as a square. Now some people will fade this square out. Start dark and then fade it out. So since I'm dealing with a newsprint and Sharpie, and I'm going to start rich. Can you guys see? I'm going to start rich here. Sometimes, again, you can do this by fading out the back. Just do some zigzags. Progressively get thicker and the voice thinner. This gives the backdrop a little interest, but it doesn't take away from the car. Remember to keep your strokes going the same direction because they do show up. On the car, you do the stroke in the length of the car. There are some techniques where you can do a sawtooth going back the opposite direction of the car, a 90-degree direction from the car, and then you fade it out like this backdrop. But that is an awesome technique, but it really takes a lot of discipline to keep it doing. Get the same effect. You don't want a little blip on the car because the car is supposed to be sitting in front of this thing. And what you can do is do a little streak of blue on the car going in the direction of the car, the shape of the car, to show that it's reflecting this backdrop. What you can do that with the sweep. Or if you're good, you can do it with the fine part of the marker or your same colored pencil. Okay, there. Now, the car's sitting in front of a wall. So, I want to take and show a little bit of this wall in the car. So I'm going to take the chisel point of the marker and I'm just going to sketch a line to indicate the car's reflecting that light. Now what's going to happen here is the back side of the light is going to reflect more, the back window. So I'm going to loop it around a little bit like this to show that it's reflecting that light, like that. The light's going to puddle. Now, since the trunk is folded over and then it goes to the fin, it's going to pick up that light too, like this. And we'll diffuse it a little bit by just putting a little dot there. Since that fin is so razor edge, you're not going to see that much. But you will see, while I'm thinking about it, a little bit of this tail light over there. So, the right tail light's going to look a little bit like this. Right there like that. And it's going to have a part line on it. And this, I'm going to need a sharp pencil for. Sorry, I hit the camera. Let me steady this. Oops. Dang, soft lead. Okay. There. Car should be done. Ta-da!